Hi, and welcome to the Jar Online. My name is Emily, and I'm so glad you joined us for this #struggle series. All of us struggle with relationships in our lives. It can be a big struggle to get along with people who believe differently than us. Let's listen to Pastor Chris as he talks about Jesus' command for us to love one another.
How many of you have had at least one relationship problem in 2020? Raise your hand, okay? Just one relationship problem in 2020. Now, some of you did not raise your hand, and what do we call those people? Liars, that's right. Because all of us have. Well, the good news is that we are not the first people to ever have a problem or a struggle with our relationships. Jesus understood that this would be a constant battle for both you and myself. And so within this battle, he actually gives us a model of how we can care for relationships when they're going through struggles. In John chapter 13, the night before Jesus is crucified on a cross, he and his 12 best friends get together for a dinner. And as they get ready for that dinner, Jesus actually gives an example of a servant. He gets on his knees and he begins to start washing the feet of every single one of his disciples. Every single one that would betray him, every single one that would deny him, everyone that would run away from him, he still goes ahead and he washes each of their feet. Now, what's ironic about this action that Jesus does is that this was the job of a slave, not the job of the Son of God, God's only Son, and yet Jesus models this for them. And as he's showing this amazing act of love, he concludes John 13 by saying these words, "A new command I give to you." And what is the command? It's underlined in one voice. What is it? Love one another. He goes on then to say this, "As I have loved you, so you must" what? Love one another. By this, Jesus said, "Everyone will know that you are my disciples if you" what? What is it? Love one another. So, anyone want to take a guess what our big idea is this morning? Yeah, you got it. You're brilliant. You're so intelligent. Yeah, that's it. To love one another. He didn't say, "They will know you are my disciples if you have a perfect theology." In other words, if you just have the best view of God, then they'll know you are my disciples. Now, it's important to have a good view of God, a good theology, but that's not how the world is going to know that you are following Christ. He also didn't say, "They will know they will know that you are my disciples if you go to church all the time." Now, like I said, whether you're on the stream or you're here, coming to church, being on the stream every week that you're around, it's really important. But he did not say that they'll know you are my followers if you just go to church all the time. Also, he didn't say, "They will know you are my disciples if you put a Jesus bumper sticker on the back of your car." Folks, the way others will know you are a disciple of Christ is the way that you love one another, the way that you treat one another, the way that you respect one another, the way that you sacrificially give of yourself to one another. Now, the truth is, as we go through this teaching, what I want to talk about, though, is that Jesus didn't have to deal with one of these. Jesus did not have this kind of technology, so he did not have to navigate relationships with one of these. For example, when Jesus heard the word friend, what he would go back to is that I get on my knees and I wash the feet, the dirty, nasty feet of my friends. That's what it means to have a friend. Well, I looked on my Facebook page this morning. You know how many friends I have? 1,154. Woo! 1,154. Many of those people are merely acquaintances. I know them, but this is what you know if you have a true friend or not. When in the middle of the night, you can call them at any time and they will come to your house regardless of the situation, and they will be loyal to you when the rest of the world won't be. And this is what I've learned in my life. I got about a handful of people like that. Even when we are living in a world that this connects us more and more and more, out of all of the psychological studies that I read this week, we are becoming less loyal. We are becoming less intimate within our friendships, and we feel more alone. We're more connected than ever in our world, and yet we feel alone. I mean, many of us, what a relationship has kind of become down to is click, 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 scroll, 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 swipe, 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 and that's it. That's the relationship. Wouldn't it be amazing if we just got a group of followers of Jesus together and we got together and we said, hey, how can we be so aggressive and so passionate to love other people? Other people will only know you're a Christian is by your love. That's what people understand Christianity at its best sometimes. It's like those people are like that because they really love each other. Now, for the rest of our time, I want to get really practical because some of you came today and you're like, man, I'm going through a relationship struggle right now. I need some practical ways to make my relationship better. The first thing that I want to encourage you to do, it's very simple but very profound. Be present. Be present with one another. Be present. Presence alone, folks. There's just something powerful when we're present with people. And in this season of COVID where we're distancing from each other, it's so imperative that we are present. I don't know what level you feel most safe with, but do something that allows you to connect within that. So be present with people. That's the best way to get your relationships healthier is to be present. Be connected with them. The second one is be engaged. That you actually would be engaged with the people around you. Peter, one of Jesus' closest friends, he said this, most important of all, continue to show what? What's it say? Deep love for one another. He says not just love, but like a deep love for each other. A deep spiritual engagement where we're all in, where the person in front of us is the most important person at that time. At the end of your life, I guarantee you, at the end of your life, when you're on your deathbed, you will not be looking around thinking to yourself, I wonder if I could have got just a few more likes. I mean, if I would have just got 3 more likes, I would have had 100,000 likes. I'm telling you, it's not a matter of how many likes you get, but it's how you love and care for other people. Don't just pray for them, pray with them. Don't just, click on their likes. Actually like them. Be engaged. Be present. Because Jesus said, how will they know that you are His disciples? What did He say? How you love one another. They will know you are my disciples if you love one another. So this week, practice loving one another and refuse to be a slave to this. Because the truth is, God Himself did not text from heaven, I love you. He actually sent His one and only Son to come and to be with us and to be for us.
I'm so glad that God didn't just send a text message down from heaven, but that He actually sent His Son Jesus down to earth to be with us. If you want to know more about how you can have a relationship with Jesus, or maybe you want prayer over a relationship in your life, you can find a prayer link on the bottom of this page, submit your prayer request, and one of our church staff would be happy to pray with you. If you want to hear an encouraging story about how a relationship rooted in Christ helped two friends to grow, check out Caleb and Brandon's story next to this video.